Okay, good morning, guys, and again, I'd like to welcome you to another session of partnership accounting. This is your Prof. Zeus, and for this morning, we'll discuss about the second chapter, okay, for the fundamentals of accounting by Dr. Patricia and Kaya. Okay, so we are now in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about partnership operations. Okay, so as what we have mentioned during our first discussion, okay, the partners in a partnership shall contribute what? Money, property, or industry. So these three contributions of the partners, okay, should be put in a fund, a common fund. And this is what they are going to use, the money, property, industry contributed by the partners in order to generate revenue and incur expenses. And it is in using these investments in terms of money, property, industry, no, that they are able to generate revenue and of course incur expenses, and of course the resulting profit or loss. So pag sinabi mong operations, no, we are talking about operations. We are talking of what? The result of operations of the partnership. So they operate, they generate revenues and incur expenses, and of course the resulting net profit or net loss. So the question is, remember in the definition we said that with the intention of dividing the profits. So the partners contribute these resources in order for them to generate revenue, incur expenses, and of course, after which divide any resulting profit or losses among the partners. Now, what would be the basis? Okay, now the basis for the division of profit and losses is what? Is in the document, no? As prepared and of course agreed by the partners. Yung kanilang partnership agreement shall state how much the profit or losses, okay, shall be made, okay, between the and among the partners. Now, in dividing the profits and losses, number one, manner of division. In dividing the profits and losses of the partnership among the partners, okay, there are many ways on how they can do that. Okay, so it has to be stated in the partnership agreement about the profit and loss sharing ratios of the partners. Now, let me remind you that industrial partner doesn't share in the losses of the firm. No? They share only in the profit because according to the law, yung kanilang loss in terms of yung labor and manpower, no, is already enough loss for them to carry. That's why they can no longer uh, afford to share in the losses of the firm. Okay. So what are the things that we have to consider? Say for example, you are forming a partnership. What are the things that you have to consider in making up your or in making the manner of division of profits and losses? Of course, number one, uh, time spent. The time spent by the partners in managing or in managing the affairs of the business, of course, in overseeing the engagements, okay, because these are general professional partnership, no? So how much is the time spent by each partner in terms of managing the business and overseeing the accounts or the engagements? Ano pa? Pwede rin yung capital contribution of the partners. Because capital contributions really, kung yan ay pera, di ba? Pwede rin namang yan ay invest ng partner doon sa bangko at kumita siya ng interest, although very, very small. So, anong gagawin niya? Invest sa mas malaki ang kita, which is the partnership, of course. Okay? Of course, yung mga managerial skills. The managerial skills of the partners, of course. And then, of course, yung level of influence of the partners. Because as a partner, of course, you are expected to bring in clients, no, into the firm so that other partners would also share in the business, no? Kasi hindi naman pwede na yung iba nagbibigay ng client nila tapos ikaw hindi ka nagbibigay ng client tapos makikishare ka sa profit, di ba? You also have to share in terms of giving clients to the company or to the firm. Okay? So yun ang mga pwede natin i-consider in terms of the manner of distribution. Now, how do we now divide? So, division of profit. Pwedeng yan ay arbitrarily determined, no? Arbitrary. Say for example, nagkasundo sila, o sige, si A will share 60% of the profit at si B will share 40%. That's arbitrarily determined, no? Letter B, pwede rin namang based sa kanilang capital balances. Kasi sabi natin, di ba, ayan o, may capital contribution. So capital balances can also be what? Given some sort of interest. No, sabi ko nga kasi because kung hindi yan invest sa firm, invest yan sa bangko that will earn interest. No? So in terms of capital balances, could be based on the beginning balances of the capital. It could be based on the ending. Or it could be based on average. Average balances of the capital no? Now, pwede rin naman gawin magkaroon ng interest on the capital, and then the remainder shall be distributed equally among the partners. So if they have like same amount of capital, then pareho din yung distribution. Pareho lang sila ng distribution or share in the profit and losses. So maraming mga paraan on how the partners can agree, okay, on how to divide the profit and losses. Now the question now is, once this has been computed, and each partner have already determined how much is their share in the profit and loss, what will now be the entry? Okay, now this time we will create another account to account for the distribution of profit and losses. Okay, so the pro forma entry would be okay. Remember that in your basic accounting, you were taught on what? On how to divide, how to close the books of accounts of an entity by using temporary account like income and expense summary. No? So the balance of this income and expense summary, remember, for the revenues, recall that time. No? So debit ka ng revenue, credit ka ng income and expense summary. This is to close the revenue. Second, you have the expenses, so income and expense summary, debit and credit expenses. Now, if debit is higher than the credit, then there's a net loss. If credit is higher than the debit, then there's a net income. Now, assuming that this is higher than this, then we have to close this to now you've learned in your corporation accounting that this is close to your what? To your retained earnings. But in the case of partnership, the income and expense summary, okay, will be closed against what? The drawing account of the partners. So ito ngayon yung ating pro forma entry, debiting income and expense summary and crediting the drawing account of the partners, okay, of each of the partners. Now this is shown as part of partners' equity. Okay, and it's either deducted or added from the capital of each of the partners. Okay, so let us try the exercises. Antay. Problems. Okay, problem number 1, sabi dyan. The partnership contract for the SDF and MGB partnership, a general partnership, provided for annual salaries of 140 and 175 to SDF and MGB respectively, with the resulting profit or loss to be divided equally. Profit before salaries for the year ended June 30, 2021 is 315,000. Okay. So number 1, the profit is going to be divided is 315,000. And how will that be divided? Meron silang salaries na ibibigay sa mga partners, and then the remainder. So you have the total. Okay? So yan. So ngayon, sinunod mga partners, SDF, and then MGB. So si salaries daw, meron siyang 142 SDF. Okay, ay, so SDF, ay sorry, 142 MGB. Sorry. Hindi ko napansin yung ano ba ito? Sorry. Naduduling na ako. 315,000. Okay? So we will divide it by giving salaries to the partners, and then the remainder shall be divided equally. So we get the total of the partners' share. So SDF and MGP. Okay. Annual salaries of 140 to SDF and 175 for MGB. So therefore, the total of these salaries is how much? 140 plus 175. This is 315. 315 na. Okay, yung dalawa. Tama ba? Wala na ba siyang ibang 140 plus 175. So that's 315. Eh, 315 yung kanyang i-divide na profit. So wala na siyang remainder. So yung total niya would be 140,000 and 175. So therefore, what is the journal entry? Debit ka na. Since income to, mas malaki yung income, yung credit balance no, ng income and expense. So i-close natin since it's a temporary account. So you have income and expense summary, debit. For how much? 315,000. Credit SDF drawing for 140,000. And credit MGB drawing for 175. Okay, so that is a division of profit and losses. No? Number 2. On January 21, 2020, TQS, JNV, and KPH form a partnership with TQS as an industrial partner, JNV and KPH contributing cash. They agreed to divide profit in a ratio of 2:3:4 to TQS, JNV, blah, blah, blah. So the operations of the partnership for the year 2021 resulted in a loss. Now, si TQS, tignan natin ha, he is an industrial partner. And he shares in the profit, ilang percent? 2. And then, si JNV at si KPH, they are capitalist partners. Okay. This is 4 and this is 3. Therefore, ilan yan? 2 plus 4 plus 3. 9. Tama ba? 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 9. Okay. So the operations for the year resulted in a net loss of 420,000. Okay. Now remember what I mentioned earlier, that for losses, the industrial partner will not have any shares. So ano mangyayari? The losses will be shared between and among JNV and KPH. So the ratio would be what? So JNV will share 4/9, and then si KPH will share 3/9. Ay sorry, 7 pala. Ano na 9? Multiplied by 420. So magkano yun? 420 times 4 divided by 7. This is 240,000. And the other one, 3 times 420 divided by 7, 180,000. Okay, so plus 240. Okay, so this is 240,000. So what will be our journal entry for that one? Okay, so debit. Now dito, since it's a loss, ibig sabihin mas malaki yung kanyang yung debit, no, sa income and expense summary. Okay, so that mag-debit tayo ng J&V drawing for how much? 240,000. Debit KPH drawing for 180,000 and credit income and expense summary for 420,000. Okay, let's have number 3. Number 3 naman, medyo mababa. Okay. So number 3 naman is what? ANX, LCX, MRD, NTI, NTJ, and LMN. The partnership contract stipulated the profit and loss should be distributed as follows. So you have the salaries for the partners, bonus of 10% of the profit after deduction of partner salaries to NTJ, and then remaining shall be divided in accordance with that. So we're asked to prepare for the schedule of the distribution of profit. Okay, sorry. Distribution of profit, assuming that the profit is 1,050,000. Okay, and then 787 and then 140,000. Okay, let's divide the profit. So let us now divide the profit. So you have LCX, MRD, NTJ, and MN. Ayan. So yun yung apat na partners, no? Now, unang-una, na division nila is they are given salaries. So salaries of 175,000 to LCX. MRD will receive 262. And then NTJ will receive 350,000. So total. So come here. 175 plus 265 plus 350. 787, total 787, 500. 787, 500. Okay. And then what else? A bonus to NTJ. So may bonus si NTJ. 10% profit after deduction of partner salary. Magkano yung profit dito? 1,050,000. The first year profit is 1,050,000. So that's 1,050,000 after deducting the 787, 500. He gets 10%. Right? So 10% of 1050 minus 787, 500. So ito times 0.10. So it gets 26,000. Sino to? Si NTJ. 26,250. 26,250. Okay, remaining, and then the remaining, ano pala ginawa ni LMN? This is the name pala, sorry. Name kasi sa photo ginagawa na element dyan. And the remaining shall be divided into 30, 40, and 30. Okay, so magkano na lang ba natitira? So, ang remaining natin is how much? So 1,050,000 minus 787,500 minus 26,250. 1,050,000 minus 7,875 minus 26,250. The answer is 236,250. So ito pa yung remainder that we have to divide, no, between the partners. So times 0.3. So this is 70,875 times 0.4 times 0.3 times 2 plus 94,005. 236,250. So this is 245,875. That's 262,500 plus 94,500. 350,000 plus 26,250 plus 78,75. 447,125. Natin kung tama, 26,250 plus 236,250. So this is 1,050,000. Okay, so again, the entries, ano lang, debit, income and expense summary, for 1,050,000. Credit ka na, LCX cap drawing, for how much? 245,875. LRD drawing, 357. MTJ drawing, 447,125. So that will be the entry. Okay, number 4. Ay, this is letter A. Letter B. Profit is 787,500. Okay. So assuming that the profit is yan, 787,500. Okay, so si LCX, si MRD, and then si MTJ. Okay, so again, salaries. This is 175. This is 262,500. This is 350,000. So therefore, this 787,500. Yung pala salaries pa lang eh. Wala na sila. I-define, no? So salaries, yung nila. Okay, so ito yung distribution ng profit nila. Ito na yun. No? Yan. So again, entry would be debit income and expense summary for how much? 787,500. Credit ka ng LCX drawing for 175,000. Credit ka ng MRD drawing for 262,500. And then MTJ drawing for 350,000. Okay, so letter C. Letters. $140,000. Tita. So this year's salary is of 175, 262,500, 350,000, total of 787,500. Okay? So what are we going to do now? Eh sabi kasi yung bonus, if 10% of profit, eh since loss to, wala na yung bonus. So therefore, the remainder. Now, how much will be the remainder? That will be distributed. Eh, loss siya ng 140,000, tapos nabigay pa siya ng salaries. Unless 787,500. So, how much na yan? Magkakaroon pa ng additional losses. So, 875. So, this is 927,500 that we have to divide dun sa mga partners. Right? Oo, kasi, remember, may lugi sila pero hindi pa yung sweldo. So, 927. And this will be shared by LCX 30%, MRDS 40% share, and then this is also 30%. So, therefore, the remainder, 9275 times by 3. This is 278,250. 9275 times 0.4, 371,000. 9275 times 0.3, 278,250. Or 927,500. So magkano ngayon? Okay, 175 minus 278,250. This is 103. That's 278,250. 71,750. So yung isa positive, no? Less 1085, less 103,250. So this is negative 140. So therefore, we will debit LCX drawing because LCX ay negative 103,250. Debit MRD drawing for 108,500, and then credit NTJ drawing for 71,750, and credit income and expense summary for 140,000. Okay, so that would be letter C requirement. Okay, so that would be letter C requirement. Okay, so number 4, number 5. Okay, so number 4, partnership contract does not have a provision for the division of profit or loss. Profit is divided according to partners' average capital and interest of independent assumption story. 10% is allowed on average capital, and resulting profit or loss is divided equally. Annual salaries are given to the partners. Okay? So dito tayo sa number 4. So, sabi yan, general partners with initial contributions of 420 and 700,000 respectively. Additional investments and withdrawals, ito yung mga additional investments. So, number 1, if there is no stipulation as to how the income and loss will be distributed, the presumption will be you will divide it based on the contributions, no ratio of the contributions. So for letter A, since there's no stipulation as to how it will be distributed, so letter A natin, okay, we'll base it on capital contribution. So LDS, LRV. Sabi niya, LDS has capital of 420,000 and then 700,000. So magkano yan? 420 plus 700. 1,120,000. Okay, so magkano yung kanyang profit or loss? The partnership operations is resulted in profit of 735. So that would be 420 divided by 112, 700 divided by 1120 multiplied by 735. Okay, so magkano yan? 735 times 420 divided by 1120. So this is 275,625. And then the other one, 700,000 times 700 divided by 120. 437,500. Total of plus 275,625. Ay, bakit ay ba? Ito natin, 735 times 735 yan, times 420 divided by 1120, 275, that's correct. So 735 times 700 divided by 1120. 4 pala. 459,375 plus 275,625. So yan yung ating income distribution, no? Based on capital contribution, since there was no stipulation as to how it will be divided. Okay, based on average capital. Okay. So remember, si LDS, no? Ito yung kanyang mga capital contribution, right? January 1, meron siyang 420. Okay, 420,000. Now, if you look at the movement of his capital, May 1, meron siyang additional contribution. Magkano yun? 105. And then, magkaroon siya ng withdrawal November 1. No, 105. Right? Okay. So, therefore, magkano yung average capital niya? Ito, nagkaroon siya ng, nag-outstanding siya for 12 months. Ito, May 1 to December is how much? How many months? April, so 3, 4, so 8. And then ito naman ay November, December 2. Okay. So let us now find the average capital of LDS. So that's 420 times 12. 5,040,040. Guys, kung nakakalimut itong average capital na to because you will use this procedure in financial accounting, no? Pagdating natin sa intermediate accounting, under the topic of property, plant, and equipment, times 2, 210. So therefore, the total is 5,040 plus 840 minus 210. So 5,500,000, 5,670,670 divided by 12 months. That's 472,500. 472,500. And then, sino yung isa? Si LRV. LRV naman, meron siyang January 1 balance of 700. Again, this remained intact until December 31. July 1, nagkaroon siya ng additional investment of 105. So July 1 hanggang December 6 months. And then November, meron siya withdrawal na 262,500. So times 2. So this is 700 times 12, 8,400,000. 105 times 6. So this is 630,000. 2625 times 2 times 2. 525 plus 630 plus 8,400,000. 9,555 divided by 12. That is 796,250. So ito yung average capital nilang dalawa. Ay, sorry. Mali. This is negative. Negative nga pala yan. So, ulitin natin. Sorry. Plus 630 minus 525. Masakit na talaga mata ko. So, this is 805,000. Tama ba? Checkin natin kung may problema dun sa ating computation ng average. Tama naman to, 8.4 million. $105 times 6, that is 630. 262,500 times 2, 525 negative. So 8,004,000 plus 630 minus 525. 8,505,000 divided by 12. That is 708 pala, sorry. 708, mali yung tingin ko. 708,250. Mali yung tingin ko, sorry. So, sabi niya, profit is divided according to quarter's average capital. So, LDS average is 472,500. LRV 708,250. So, magkano na yun yung natin plus 472,500. 1,181,250. Okay, so ngayon 735, so it's going to be 742,500 divided by 1,181,250. 708,250 divided by 1,181,250 multiplied by 735. 75 times 472.5 divided by 1,181,250. That is 294,000 for LDS, and then 735 times 708,250 divided by 1,181,250. Deduct lang natin. Nagkakaroon ng decimal, di ko lang kung bakit. Kanina naman siguro yung aking pagkakakuha. 708,250 times 735,000 divided by 1,181,250. Ganun. 79735 minus 294. Should be 441, but hindi wala ba siya 441 something. $441,735. I'm wondering bakit hindi siya nag 444, diba? Okay. Anyways, baka kulang sa ilaw itong aking calculator. 708, 250 times 735 divided by 1181,250. 440, lumalabas may decimal, pero dapat wala. Anyway, so this is how it will be divided. And then letter C, interest of 10%, and then the resulting be equally based on average capital. So you have LDS, LRV. So number 1 is interest on average capital. Ilan? 10%. Average capital is 294 times 0.10. This is 29,400. 441 times 0.10. 44,100 plus 29,400. 73,500. And then the balance, that will be divided equally. So minus 735 divided by 2. This is 330,750. 330,750. 661,500. So therefore the total is 29,400 plus 330,750 is 360,150. 44,100 plus 330,750 is 374,850 plus 360,150, 735. So LDS will have 360,150 as share in the profit, and then LRB will share 374,850. Okay, and then letter D, letter D ko pala. Ito mo ko nagluluko na itong gulpin na ito at pagbihirap na siya isulat. Let's find another one. Letter D. Annual salaries, okay, are provided to LDS and LRV, and then respectively 12% interest on allowed on average capital, and any remainder divided 2:3. Okay, so we have salaries, and then we have 12% interest on average capital, and then the remainder. So we have LDS, LRV. So salaries of, that's 210,000 and 140. Plus 140. This is 350,000. So 12% interest is allowed on the capital. So compute natin 210 times 0.12. So this is capital 25,200. Then 140,000 times 0.12 will be 16,800 plus 25,002. So this is 42,000. Natin 350,000 times 0.12, 42,000. So the remainder is 735 minus 350,000 minus 42,000 is equal to 735 minus 350 minus 42. So this is 343,000. 735 minus 350 minus 42. 343. Okay? So this will be divided in the ratio of 2:3. So 2:3. Right? So therefore 2 times 343 divided by 3. So magkano yung kanyang magiging tawag dito magiging share. Seven 340 natin minus 350 minus 42. Ayan. Bakit 343? 735 less 350 385 minus 42. 343. Ay, average, sorry. This is average capital na pala.
Ba't na ako?